Hello! 2022 is over, which means time for the final wrap-up of 2022 slash the first wrap-up of 2023 because it's currently 2023. Did that make sense? Probably not. My brain is insane. Let's go. I read 6 books in December. Why am I sad about that? Well, because I didn't read 100 books, and that was my goal. I read 92 in total. Spoiler alert for my stats video, but yeah, I only read 6 books, and I DNF'd 1. So let's just get straight into these stats so we can get that over with. In terms of genre, I read 3 romance books, 1 historical fiction, Who Am I?, 1 sci-fi book, and 1 fantasy book. And in terms of star rating, I read 4 4-stars, 1 3-star, and 1 2-star. And in total, I read 2,403 pages, which is a lot for 6 books. Let's talk about some books and my thoughts about them. So, the first book that I read in December was Shadow of Fire by Kate Schumacher, which was an arc from NetGalley, obviously, since I don't have it. I'm not going to lie, I've already forgotten what this book was about. I just remember it being about a girl called Ash, and she can like summon fire, which is like illegal in this kingdom. Yeah, I don't know how to explain this book. There's like fae people and human beings have magic. I don't literally remember. This book has an extremely large like cast of characters. I think that's a sentence that's grammatically correct. There's like a million different characters, and every chapter is a completely different character in a completely different setting with new people, and it was so confusing. For the first 100 pages, I was so bored, so confused. I didn't know what was going on, and I was regretting asking for the book. But then after that, it got better, thank God. There was only like one thing that made me give it a 3-star and not like a 1 or 2, which is there's 2 characters that have a romance, and that's the only thing I liked about this book. They carried this book. They have scoliosis now. If it weren't for that romance between the 2 characters, I would not have enjoyed this book. 3 stars, I don't know if I said that already. The next book that I read was Extracted by R.R. Haywood. This is a sci-fi book that is about 3 people that are extracted from the past by these random people to try and save the world because the world is ending and they don't know why, only that a computer said that these 3 people were like the answer to saving the world, and they were each saved before they died. That's the plot of the story. I gave this a 2. It was bad. If I wasn't like trying to force myself not to DNF books, this would have been a DNF. It was just not my taste, I guess. It was interesting to see their backstories and like them being extracted, but after that, I did not like it. It was them training, and one of the guys had like depression, and it was just boring. Just not for me, honestly. And also, this is the kind of book that you would say that you can tell it's written by a man, because the way the one woman in this book was described, hideous. Anyways, this was not good. I did not like this. The next book that I read in December was The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. When I talked about this book in my TBR, I had no clue what this was about. This is about Olive. She is a PhD student, I think. I don't remember the names of the things. But her friend is in love with her ex-boyfriend. So to make her friend feel comfortable to be with that ex, she pretends that she's dating someone, and to do that, one day she accidentally, on purpose, to avoid her friend situation, that didn't make any sense. Moving on. She kisses Adam, which is a professor at this university, who is known to be like a grumpy, mean teacher. So they end up fake dating to make that friend feel comfortable to date the ex-boyfriend. Okay, this is a TikTok book, just so everyone knows, because it clearly doesn't say, in a fake sticker. I heard of this obviously from TikTok, and I was pleasantly surprised that it was actually good and worth the hype that this book has been given, because the hype is literally on the moon. I gave it a 4-star. It wasn't the best thing of my life, obviously, but it was entertaining, it was fun, there were some cute moments, there's some spice in it. I thought, okay, TikTok did kind of bamboozle me because I expected more. It is spicy, there's one scene, but like, it's fine. They made it sound like it was much more than what it was. Anyways, my only complaints are that it is predictable. It's a very predictable book. And there were some really weird sentences. One that was on TikTok, but I'll leave it here for your entertainment, because what is that? I don't know. The next book that I read in December was In Holidays by Christina Lauren. And this is about a girl who, after completely like bombing, not really, but not having a great holiday, aka Christmas holidays, a week, she makes a wish that she wishes that didn't happen, so she ends up repeating that week over and over, and every time she does something wrong, according to the universe or whatever is controlling this, she dies and wakes up again at the beginning of the trip. It's a Groundhog Day time loop moment book. I gave this a 4-star. Everything that Christina Lauren writes, they write, whatever, is great. It's entertaining, it's fun, it's always a good time, for me at least. I liked it. It was cute, it was fun, but again, same complaint as this. It was predictable. But other than that, great, fun, love it. The next book I didn't read, I DNF'd, but it is Few Thousandth Floor by Catherine McGee. I stopped on page 66. This, no. If I wanted to read about a sibling romance, first of all, I wouldn't. I don't want to read this. I don't know why this has been read and liked by people, but to each their own. I personally don't really find it fun to read about two siblings adopted. I don't care that he's adoptive. It's still a sibling. Sibling romance with a love triangle. No. We're done. I'm not. No. The next book that I read was The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. And this was one of the books on my possible unhaul books. But I was pleasantly surprised and really liked this. I'm now gonna go buy somewhere the sequel to this, because this was really fun. This is about Monty Henry Montague, I don't know words anymore. And he is a mess, basically. His best friend Percy and his sister go on a tour of Europe. And everything goes wrong. And they keep getting into trouble, but it's an adventure. I don't want to spoil, so I don't want to say anything. But at the same time, we follow Monty in love with his best friend, but he's scared of like being with Percy because this is set in the 1800s, 1700s. I have forgotten, doesn't matter. Back in the day when it was like illegal. I gave this a 4-star. This was so fun. Loved Percy and Monty. Felicity is so fun to read, and also, most of all, Monty is the funniest, like, POV narration. There were so many quotes in here that made me laugh. I had a great time. I was never really bored, and it's a huge book. It's 500 pages. But I thought it was fun. Some people might not agree with me, but that's fine. I enjoyed it. The plot was fun, the characters were good, and the romance was so cute. My god. Love it. And the last book I read in 2022 was See You Yesterday by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I actually read it as a library book, but now I actually own the book. This follows Barrett. She is starting her first day in university. Everything goes wrong. Her roommate is her nemesis. She gets called on in class. She burns a house down, stuff like that. But then, when she wakes up on the same day. So I read 2 books that were a time loop, Groundhog Day vibe. Don't know why, it just happened. A coincidence. But Barrett discovers that she's not the only one in this time loop. A guy called Miles is also stuck and has been there longer than her. Yeah, that sounded fun when I read the synopsis, and that's why I borrowed it from the library. I gave this a 4-star. This was so fun. I needed this to end the year because I have read so many bad books. I needed help. And this did that, and these that I liked, these 2 and The Gentleman's Guide, thank God I liked those. I really enjoyed this. It was fun. They do a lot of chaotic stuff every day because they don't know how to get out of it, so they decide to just enjoy life. And Barrett and Miles are very relatable. They were fun. Their romance was so cute. There's a spicy scene. Love it. Not expecting it. It's a slow burn. Yeah, it's great. That was also slow burn, fun fact. The only thing I didn't like was a small part of the end. I'm not gonna spoil, but there's a part in the end that I didn't like how it was done, but it was okay. It was solved pretty quickly, so I'm okay with it. But like, that's why I gave it a 4, not like a 4.5 or a 5. So these 5 plus the ARC were all the books that I read in December. I didn't reach my reading goal, but that's okay. It's the 3rd year, no. It's the 2nd year that I failed, so I'm like, desensitized? Is that the word I'm looking for? Probably not. Those are all the books that I read. I had a decent time compared to other months, but yeah, 2022 is over. It felt like 2020 was yesterday. What is going on? I don't know. Maybe next video or the one after that, I will be posting my stats video, aka my favorite video of the year. So if you want to know my stats of 2022, stay tuned for that. But that is everything for today, and I'll see you in my next weird video. Bye!